In progress.
Recording.
Hello, everybody in the future watching this later. I promise to be entertaining the whole time. Please stick with me. And additionally to my friends who are watching in the future, if you find yourself getting a little sleepy, I'm going to do my best to make an agenda of this so you can just read it. But you know, we like to have a good time, so I'm going to do my best to keep it spicy up here. Hello, everybody who's here with us in the present. This is an incredible turnout. If you don't know me yet, I hope you do. My name is Rachel, and I hope that I brought you here today. I'm the volunteer coordinator with Inland Seas, and I am really excited. One thing that I am stoked to share with you today is the power of this community and this group. In my tracking, I keep track of every person who submitted an application, who has expressed an interest in Inland Seas. And last year at this time, before the season even started, I had 20 recruits, and that was with me going around and doing a world tour of all the Traverse City local organizations. I was tap dancing my toes off. And this year I focused on, I had a little bit of a different focus. I was more focused. The theme for this year is nourishing our roots. How can we ensure that the roots that this organization grows from are as supported and healthy as possible? So there's some systems that we're working on to make sure that your volunteer experience is the best that it can be. And that was my sole focus. And I'm happy to tell you today that on my new volunteer tracking sheet, I have 32 new people. 32. And that wasn't, I didn't tap dance in a single place. I mean, that's really the power that you guys have. Thank you so much for representing us in the public, and with your friends. It moves me genuinely so much. So very excited, and I hope you're excited to hear it too. Not to put anybody on the spot, but if this is your first like orientation or any training with Inland Seas, could you put a hand in the air for us, please? I was gonna just take a digital thing real quick. Welcome, Grace and George. Okay, so let's get this party started. We are, great. Okay, so this is called the All Hands Welcome and Orientation today. So in the future, what I want this kind of orientation to be, we now have 2 ships. We are exploring shoreside opportunities, but all of us are here together for the same reason, and that is because we cherish this water and this resource that we have, and we want to make sure it is protected. We want to be able to enjoy it, and we want to show other people why it's special to enjoy. So with this all hands training, what I really want us to do is be able to come together as a community and talk a little bit about that. So this is we're going to zoom out. We're going to talk about all of our volunteer programs as a whole, what they have in common in terms of logistics, and I'm going to give you a wide spread of the season to kind of see where these new things are happening. And if you like it, please let me know. This will be an annual meeting for us. So there are so many ways to get involved, not just in our programs. We have other opportunities as well. We have campus cleanups, where we work with the local school to spread mulch as fast as you've ever seen it. We dust these lighthouses. We really need that. All of us in the office hugely appreciate it. There are many ways to be inside and caring for the Great Lakes and, working behind the scenes. And we wouldn't be as successful as we are without those volunteer opportunities as well. So want to put a spotlight on that. So many places for us to be.
Could I get a light check? Could we get the first bank of lights off? They're by the door. Thank you, Izzy. Thanks, yeah.
There's so many smiling faces here, and I just don't know if you can see them well.
I gotcha.
So, what are we talking about today?
Much better.
There we go. Now we can see Kim lounging. He looks like he owns that bench. All right, and he does. You all do, actually. So we're going to who's in the office and when might you talk to them? We're going to talk all logistics. We're going to talk about, all the pesky stuff, all the paperwork, so we can get that out of the way as fast as possible and get to partying. A question I get often, when do you need me? We're going to talk a little bit about that. How do you get your friends on board which is not something that I think we've defined specifically. I've had it in one-on-one conversations, but I don't know if we haven't ever laid it out there. So how do we get friends on board? And when might you want to take a break? Maybe you want to step back. We're going to talk a little bit about disengaging and don't leave me yet. Thank you. We're going to take a break. Take a quick break. I'm going to set up some tables here, and I have some line cut. Thank you, Dina Claire, and we have some experts in house. We're gonna work through some knot tying stuff. We have 5 different knots. We're not working for proficiency here. We're just looking to learn a skill together. And you're welcome to stay for that. I would love for you to stay for that. Ooh, seasonal staff. I'm just gonna keep. You know what? That? No, we need it like this. We do need it like that. Seasonal staff announcements. Yay! Our deckhand educators. We have almost all of our full suite of people are hired. Not all of them are here. So our deckhand educators are team members on board that are learning the ship side of things, and they are active in the education. These are great for our overnight programs. There's a name there you might recognize, and she's working very hard on some data. So everyone, please welcome to the stage, Jillian Votava. Come on over here, girl. Come here. Jillian is hard at work on a data project right now that we're really excited about, and maybe she'll tell us a little bit about it. Here she comes. Yeah. Hello. Tell us about deckhand educatoring and where we will see you this season. And will you come stand right here when you get it? Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jillian. Nice to meet you all or see some of you again. Deckhand educator is a role that will be on the ship to both teach and fill crew positions. So yeah, I personally am going to be on inland seas most of the season. So you'll see me there, but there will be a deckhand educator on Alliance as well. And that person is starting in a few weeks. I think I'm already.
In one sentence, can you tell us about your data project? It can be a long sentence.
Okay. Some of you know that for the last 4 years or so, I've been working on a big project. All of our historical observations are digital in different formats. And I am, with another person, magicking them into one format, into an online platform. So
With the purpose of
that anyone can go and visualize and play with the data. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. We'll get back to it and it's been delightful. Jillian and I are sharing an office for the very first time, and I've heard just some new vocabulary from Jillian. She works with the old Excel sheets. But it's really exciting that data that you guys are collecting is soon going to be available for people who don't even live here. People all around the globe can take a look at the work that Inland Seas is doing and the way that you are collecting data with students. So thanks so much for that. Our other deckhand educator, Izzy Plank, will be joining us in a couple weeks. We have 3 spring interns. One named Izzy. So we're you may be counting. That's 1, 2, 3.
This one's the best.
We know for sure. We know for sure. We're gonna figure that out. But we've got Izzy. Sophie Nickel will be joining us. She's local. She had a really fun interview, so we're looking forward to hanging out with Sophie. One more. Whoa, we had an unexpected dropout. So if you know a smart young person who might be interested in sailing with us in the spring season, we're putting out all the feelers, and we're excited to talk to some people. So if you know somebody, you got a grandchild or a regular child or a neighbor, give us a call. Our summer intern will be joining us. So this is they're joining us in the spring, and they're staying all the way through into August. Her name is Kushi. We're very excited for her to join us. And our Great Lakes Waterways Education intern, which is that Detroit River Story Lab. They're going to be developing a station for the Detroit River. Lauren Sheffer will be joining us with the same tenure as that summer intern. Okay, great. So we're beefing up the ranks. So as we run 2 boats, we don't have to call you too much. And before we get into it, I would like, we have some other staff members in the office. I'd like them to introduce themselves and tell us when you might be going to pay them a visit. starting with Izzy, number 1.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Izzy Cooper. I'm the program coordinator here at Inland Seas. I mostly am an office troll. Every once in a while, I might join the boat for a day or two. I communicate with all of the people who come on board the ship. So all of the teachers who bring their classes out, if they're doing an ROV program, where I'm talking with those folks as well. And then in the summer, I'm communicating with all of our partners around the Great Lakes to make sure that we have all the information that we need and they have all the information that they need in order to make sure everybody gets to the boat and where they need to be. So if you ever have questions about comings and goings, we do have some systems in place that hopefully will make it easier than it's been each year. We try to make it a little bit better, but you can always come to me and ask those questions. I also support Kate Jarvi, who's our office manager, in the drug pool stuff. So if you are a certified crew member or you're hoping to become a certified crew member, part of that is participating in our drug testing program. If Kate typically works Monday through Thursday. So if anything happens on a Friday or you have questions, I'm the person to come to try and answer those questions, or we can both scratch our heads together and find an answer. So that's me.
Thanks, Izzy.
And my real name is Elizabeth, so maybe the other Izzy's are not Elizabeths, and we could do that, but I also don't answer to that very often.
Let them in trouble. Maybe next. Sure.
Hello, everybody. My name is Harrison Fischer. I am the marketing and communications coordinator here with Inland Seas. You'll often see me running around with this surgically attached to my right hand. You'll also find me out on the boat and with our programs, especially during the warm months when we're actually out running programs. I'm usually tagging along, taking pictures. If you see a drone flying around the boat, good odds that's probably me as well. I do tend to interrupt the 2 minute of silence period during that. I'm really good at arriving right when that starts. So a little bit about me. I joined about 1.5 years ago. I have a background in both education, marketing, and environmental ed. So this was just sort of a little dream come true when I found Inland Seas. I love getting to work with all of you. And times when you'll find me or interact with me in the office. If you have any questions about photos that are taken on board, if you have some that you'd like to share or think that we might use as an organization, feel free to drop my office. I share an office with Izzy. I can grab those photos from you and add them to our digital library so that we can use them later on. We've got a few volunteers who come in and do that every now and then, which I do greatly appreciate. Oh, I thought I was being corralled over. I was too far to the right. But so I can also answer some questions when you come into the office, and if not, I can help find answers. Also, if you have any boat items that you like donated to Inland Seas that we resell as a fundraiser, I am the one who generally handles most of that as when it comes to that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty much all of the information about me. I'll pass it on to Liam, my lookalike Liam.
Thanks so much, Harrison. This is a really special day for me because 1 year ago today, I was a brand new person here at this orientation, which is really cool. So I'm really excited to see so many new faces here. And if you ever have any questions about it, please ask me because I was very recently a new face. I am the Great Lakes educator here at Inland Seas. You will often see me out on the boat during schoolship season. Rachel and I lead the primary number of schoolship sales and public sales, but also on the off season, I run the watershed exploration programs. So we do cool programs with kids such as dissecting freshwater mussels, practicing compass skills, going out to Leo Creek and examining kind of the cool things out in the stream. If you have any questions about getting involved with that, please let me know. And yeah, outside of that, I have a sunfish. I sail it sometimes out in the Suttons Bay or in Lake Leelanau, so you might see me there. And one last thing, P.S. the coffee is on. So maybe after we break, we'll get some coffee. But yeah, really nice seeing everyone. And next up is our captain.
Hi everybody. My name is Lily. I'm just one of 2 captains here because we have the 2 boats now. I've been employed with Inland Seas for about 6 years. I first got here, I was a relief captain, we just had the 1 boat. And this will be my 2nd year as a full-time captain here because we've got a 2nd boat. Where will you find me? You might find me in Alliance's Bilge. You might find me in Inland Seas' engine room. You might occasionally find me here at the office. And once we start running our programs, you'll find me at the wheel. on either of the boats, and you can blame me for the weather. And
That was poetic.
I'm Ben Hale. I'm the other captain. I first got started with Inland Seas back in '97. I was an intern. And so over the years, off and on, I would volunteer or do relief work. And then finally, I was offered a full-time position by Tom Kelly in 2012. So I've been here full-time since 2012. I can be found pretty much all the places that Lily had mentioned. There might be a couple others, but I won't mention those. And I think that's about it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Not here with us, Kate Jarvi is our office manager that Izzy mentioned. She's in this office right here. She mans the helm in the building, and we would genuinely be lost without her. So if you need to know where a post-it note is, or if you want to know how to stand up on Fair Harbor, which is how we buy tickets, that's when you talk to Kate. Juliana, who we all know and love, is also away on vacation. She is down the hall. She's also out on programs quite a bit. She's on our education team as well. You can come to her with education questions or program questions. And then Fred Sitkins, our fearless leader, is out with not feeling great. So he's joining us virtually. But he's the executive director. You're welcome to come to him with genuinely any question. In terms of escalation, one thing that's important for you guys to know is that if there's ever an instance where you're on board and you're like, I didn't feel comfortable with this situation. I didn't like the way this was handled. I felt marginalized. I felt any type of way at all. Ideally, I want you to feel comfortable coming to me. If that's not the case, I want you to, the captains are people you can talk to, and Fred's door is always open for that kind of a conversation. So we want to be accessible for you guys here. That's really important to us. But yeah, if it's possible, I'd love to be able to help you with whatever you're feeling during your programs. Okay, logistics, the spiciest topic. Everything that you need to be successful during an Inland Seas program. So we'll breeze through these so fast, but getting on board in our volunteer program. Before any first volunteer shift, any volunteer should have the following or have received the following from me. That's the application and the handbook. And with that application, we will run a background check. So before you interact with students, I just got to run a quick one of those. It takes Kate or myself like 5 minutes. So that's what we'll do. Interview with me. I like to know where you want to be. So if you are bringing a friend, which we'll touch on later, who wants to come out, just let me know that they're coming. So I make sure, as you know, the ships are capacity limited. I want to make sure there's space. And I want to make sure we're doing the thing that you want to see on that program. Youth protection training. We currently use the Boy Scouts of America. This is required of all of our volunteers. We re-up this training every 3 years, and I keep track of that. So I'll let you know when it's time to re-up that certification. It takes about 70 minutes. It's a lot of the basics that you would expect, which is 2 deep leadership. We want 2 adults. We're never alone with a kid. Those kinds of safety regulations that are safe for the children and for you. And for the most part, this is most important when we are on the ship and moving up and down below deck. So that would be the only time you would want to think, not the only time. That is one of the primary times you would want to think about that. The only time. Volunteer hour sheet. I will make sure you have one of these physically and digitally. We're going to talk a little bit more about logging hours and a tour of the space. I want you to know where the bathrooms are, where you can get a drink of water, and everything you need to know in my office. So if you're new, and you don't have any of those things, I'm here today to give you those things. After you are your first official shift with us, after moving past that shadowing period, whether that's in an education program on the ship or on shore, or in any other volunteer capacity, we have hats. And my announcement today is if you joined the crew last year, I ran out of hats. I have more. So if you are a crew member who joined or an instructor who didn't get a hat last year, please let me know. I have those for you, and a name tag. We wait to order those. We order them in batches. So if you don't have a name tag yet, I'll get you one after your first shift. So I am going to duck this down. This is a graphic I'm pretty excited about. When do you need me? So over here we have on my x-axis every month of the year. Bam. And on the right-hand side, I have 7 different volunteer program opportunities. Starting, we've got ship keeping, which is new. We're cleaning the boats. maintenance, clerical and office, shoreside, ROV, crew member or CAT, and our shipboard instructors. And so what you'll notice is currently we are seated right here in March. All of these colors represent when I have volunteer opportunities for that program, not training, but like sign up, I need you for a program. So we're seated here in March, where I have ship maintenance happening, which some of you are very familiar with in this moment. And we have shoreside programs happening right now. Liam has been leading some shoreside programs. Those are my two needs. Now we're ramping up for May and June, where you see we jump up pretty high. We've got quite a number. We've everything instructor, crew member, ROV, and that shipkeeping team. We have a heavy load here. And it, especially as we're just picking up, spring feels so immediate and right in front of us. I want us to keep an eye on in summer, we drop down, we don't have ROV anymore, but we are still running programs. And then if you look down here in October, holy smokes. That's just something I'd love as we're pacing ourselves to keep in mind through the volunteer program. I have needs all throughout the year, and I want you to engage at a pace that is sustainable for you. So while I do have a great number of needs in the springtime, we're running many, many programs. It is in no way your obligation to fill those, especially because I'm going to keep needing you way down here into the fall. And then our clerical stuff picks up again in the off season. Yes, a question.
Reminder of ROV, what's the acronym for?
Thank you. A reminder of ROV. ROV stands for Remotely Operated Vehicle. And that is a shoreside program. Students are building small remotely operated vehicles to accomplish certain missions. So the personal favorite will toss a rubber duck in the water and say, Hale, go get him. And they, so yes, that is a shoreside offering. Thank you for asking. Any other questions about this graphic specifically? Cool. Okay. Okay, so in the same sense of that, we're going to talk about schedule really quick. So for our Schoolship program and ROV, so Schoolship is a really specific kind of onboard program. We have several terms here at Inland Seas Education Association. This is almost like a glossary of that. So the Schoolship program is our field trip destination for students. So the kids are coming to us in their classrooms with their teachers. The kids to adult ratio is often way out of whack. We got lots of little ones and maybe one or two chaperones. And so that is the makeup of this program. We have curriculum objectives that we are trying to accomplish for our teachers during this program. This seasons, we've got a spring season, which is all of May and some of June. We have a fall season, which is all of September and some of October. The daily schedule is as follows. We all day Tuesday, Wednesday morning, Thursday, Friday, all day. The only exception to this is the week, there are 2 weeks in the spring and in the fall that are available for you guys to see, where we do run on Mondays as well as Wednesday afternoons. And that's just because it is high traffic for schools at that time. We book a number of programs at that point. So, but typically we reserve that Monday for no programs. And that Wednesday afternoon is without program. So yeah. ROV as well, the remotely operated vehicle program is on the same schedule. Next, we have our public sales. So this is different from a schoolship program. The makeup of the sailors is different. These are ticket holders. They could be people here on vacation, people who've never been to Michigan before, never seen the Great Lakes. They could be locals here with their families. The adult to child ratio is a little bit different. We're having different conversations overall. Whereas on the schoolship program, you are with a student and you are saying, here are what the pelvic fins are. And with an adult may come to you with a question. I heard something funky about the plankton. Can you tell me more about that? And these are a bit more casual. You have the opportunity to stand on your own as an expert on the Great Lakes, which is a position that you've earned and deserved. With and as a part of this community, we're proud to have you serve in that role. I think they're so fun. And often, this is an instance where I myself learned so much on these sales. Somebody may come from a college and they say, it's crazy that you say that about the quagga mussels and the plankton. We're doing some research, and they're just gonna blow your hat right off of the fact. And then you get to come back to us and say, yeah, I learned this thing. And we all get to celebrate in that together. So love that about the public sales. From a crewing standpoint, the thing that's most different about these programs is the public sales are often shorter. And the weather's probably better. Just saying. Daily schedule for that is much like we are trying to hold Mondays as no program days, Tuesdays, Wednesday mornings, Thursday, Fridays, and oops, now Saturdays are on. This is great. I'm excited about this. We have a number of people who are joining us who are still working full-time jobs. So this is new, and I'm marketing this Saturday as this Saturday engagement. This is the best time to do it. Which brings me to a really important point that I've had in many conversations this year. We have some new team members who are saying, I'm not sure that I can give enough time to be helpful. And I just want to assure everyone across the board that that's never the case. We run so many programs that if you can only come out once every 2 months, that's once every 2 months that I don't have to fill that spot. And that means the world to all of us. So please never feel like, oh, if I can't come out every Thursday, it's not helpful. It's just not true. And we're happy to have you at any time, especially on Saturdays. Shoreside programs, these are land-based experiences that demonstrate how our actions on land impact the water. These are another school-age program. So the season, you'll see I have spring in quotation marks because it's like early spring. March, we're planning for snow, maybe not snow. Liam's been phenomenal and flexible with that. And we go, wow, we salute him from the office. So March and a little bit into April are when we run those shoreside programs. And then again in the fall, October and into November. And one thing that's really exciting about these shoreside programs, and as we kind of figure out the schedules, there's a different kind of seasonal aspect to these guys. Out on the water's always wet. But here on land, things bloom in different seasons and different things to find. So we are finding our footwork as we, experience those programs. So exciting new stuff. The daily schedule currently, this is, as far as I understand it, a Monday to Friday schedule. It is dependent on teacher availability. So it is not yet at a regular schedule such as the Schoolship program. Whereas we can count on the fact that there's probably going to be a school booked on a Tuesday. We're still figuring out that for Shoreside. It's a little less frequent. Moving on, where do you find anything that, all of this that I have just said is available on our website. Volunteer resources page. This is on schoolship.org. You find a tab, volunteer resources. The password for that is 1989. And that has always been the password. We have no plans to change it. 1989. And once you get there, you're going to find these 5 bubbles. Training materials has a number of drop-down menus for you to see some videos of us demonstrating different things on board the ship for crewing and instructing. Not yet for ROV, but it is a high priority for us. Program sign up is where the calendars, which I just finished today, you'll probably find them there tomorrow. Hey, Harrison, can you get those online? Thanks. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Those are done. So those are going to be available starting to you guys tomorrow, which is March 29th for those of you in the future. And they will stay there. That's always where those are going to be through the spring. And then we'll put the summer ones there and the fall ones there. Volunteer resources is a redundant name now that I'm saying that out loud to you guys. But in there are a number of other fun learning resources that are not inland sea based. So the training materials are like, here is the station and all of the things you need to teach it. And under volunteer resources, we have articles that members in this room have sent to us, or other demonstrative learning tools, how to tie some knots, those kinds of things are there. And if you ever come across a cool article that you want to add, fire it our way. We'll probably put it up. Volunteer stories, lots of writers. We have wonderful team members who are willing to write blogs for us. And volunteer stories is where all of those are at, as well as all of my former volunteer newsletters are listed here. At the bottom, we see a button called Winter Maintenance Sign Up. When it's no longer winter, that button's going to go away. But for right now, that is where we're storing our carpentry and our big Alliance refit project that many of you are aware of. We are doing a lot of work on both of the vessels right now. And that's similar to the program sign up. It's the maintenance sign up down there. So that's what's going on. Any questions about the website? Chat? Looking good. Okay. All right. How to sign up for a program. We're going to zoom in on this, so don't go cross-eyed. But this is at a zoomed out, a look of what a week looks like in our Google document calendar. So right along the top, we've got all of the days of the week, and I have the month, and I have the day. In the Sunday, especially during Schoolship, but also in the summertime, we don't typically schedule on Sundays. It's very rare. We have like one sale that is consistently on a Sunday. So I have the key. There are a lot of acronyms over here to make it all fit. Boom, over here. Now we're going to zoom in on one of these days to get a look at it. But this is right here. Oh, so at the top, what calendar are you on? That's the header. Fall, Inland Sea schedule of 2022. Are you looking for the ROV calendar? If you click into this one, there's a link. All of the calendars are linked together right here. And all right, zooming in over here, up near the top of the day, this is all of the program information. Okay, so next gen microplastics is a type of program that you'll learn if you're interested in shipboard stuff. We talk about that in another training or another meeting. But the next gen program is right here, or an ROV program would be listed right there. Underneath that is the time of instructor arrival. I have gotten a great number of feedback, and I want you to know that I hear it. The crew shows up a half hour earlier than this time here. I have finagled with fonts in every way, and I cannot make it fit. So if the crew members show up for a next gen program at 8 in the morning, my instructors show up at 8:30 for this kind of program. My sincere apologies. Continue to ask for it, so I continue to know it's a priority, and we will find a way to make that happen. So time of arrival, and then the time of leaving, which is about 15 minutes after the program ends, so we can clean up all the mud we spilled everywhere, having a good time. What school is coming? What grade are they in? And if I have the information, I'll tell you how many of them are coming. So that's what's in this pink box up top. This is the morning program. You'll see I have an afternoon program listed down here with the same information. In the green box, I have crew information. For each of my sails, I need 2 deckhands. And I also have space for 2 crew in training. So that's where if you wanted to sign up to be crew on September 19th, you would come and put in a comment, and it would show up as a comment to me, and I would know that, and I would accept it. This is here. If I need someone, it's highlighted in yellow. So if you are going in to sign up for your programs, you're looking for the yellow highlighted pieces. That's where I need people. And that's where you can go and comment your name. Underneath the green box, this is our instructor information. So this is a Schoolship one. We have a similar calendar for ROV. The lead instructor on any of our programs, Shoreside and Onboard, is a staff member. So that one is not highlighted in yellow. If you don't see a name there, it's because we're still squabbling over who gets to hang out with the school. So, so that one is not highlighted. That will be an Inland Seas staff person. The lead member, the lead instructor, is helping everyone else know where to be. We are here for safety and comfort, and we are a redundant instructor on board. So if you are teaching a station, you're feeling a little seasick, or perhaps you need to use the bathroom, we are able to stand in at your station, and so you may do what you need to do. Always a staff member. And then I have alphabet soup of different roles that you might want to play. The key for which, remember, is in Sunday. So if you are a fish instructor, you wouldn't be able to sign up on this day because, gosh darn it, Mike Foley's already there. So I would advise you find another day that you could sign up and teach fish, because I'm sure we have another one. At the bottom, down here, this one in red, if a school group cancels and you have signed up for it, what I'm going to do, I'll come in, I'll make it red, and I'll cross it out, and I'm going to email every person who signed up for that program. So you'll have it in your email. It's also represented on the calendar. Sometimes if they cancel early enough, we may schedule another school there. So one of the reasons I keep it there is that I say, hey, in this instance, Kathy Schaefer, I saw you were signed up at this day and we canceled it. We've rescheduled a program here. Would you be interested in joining us? Because I have a fish spot open. And you'd be welcome to come back. So that's what that means. You'll also see there are these shadow areas. Shadow is where you're coming to learn a station. I just threw a lot at you. Any questions about the calendar? This can be found on volunteer resources under program sign up. Chat, still looking good. Logging hours. So this is a zoomed out view of our hours sheet. Logging hours is important to us as an organization. It's good for grant opportunities as well as tax audits. This may come off as a surprise to some of you, but I don't keep track of things all the time very well. So when you guys give me these sheets, I have a very specific place that I put them so that when the tax people come, I don't have to sweat it all. I know exactly where those hours are, and I have a spreadsheet for them as well. So this really helps us out a lot. There are binders with these sheets that you can keep in the place where you volunteer at every place we hold a program. So there is one in my office if you're volunteering in the office. There is one on each of the ships. There is one at the ROV space. And if you volunteer in all of those places, you are welcome to have a sheet in every single binder. That is not a problem for me at all. You are also welcome to take one of these sheets home. And I collect them twice a year formally, but you're welcome to bring them in at any time. Yes, I collect them at the end of June and November, December time. But yeah, feel free to send them in whenever you fill those up. There's also a fillable PDF on our website. Whoop, so you can just click right into it. Now, if we get a little closer on this, if you want to keep track of your hours in the notes app of your cell phone, that's fine. Here are the things you need. I need the date that you volunteered. There is a code and an activity description. If you're keeping track of it on your own personal device, I just need you to write, I was an ROV guide. I was crewing in Sutton's Bay. And that's going to give me what I need for this code part. How long were you doing the activity? How long did it take you to get there? That's what I need. And that is how, if you can keep track of it anywhere, you can write on a scrap piece of paper, cocktail napkin. I got it. I will digitize it in whatever way. So that's what we need. Hours questions? My favorite part of collecting hours is that I get to keep this beautiful tally of the wonderful time. It is truly a great representation of the power in numbers. We collectively last year as an organization had almost 10,000 hours donated towards Great Lakes stewardship and education. And it's incredible. And at the end of the year, I do my best to celebrate that as hard as I can because you all deserve it.
Public sales go under other?
Oh, great question. Let's go back. Da-da-da. No, great. That's great. No, so that would still be schoolship instructor. That's a great notice. Thank you for pointing that out. We could change. I could change that to shipboard instructor. If you're teaching on the boat, this says schoolship instructor, and this is an old one. It says Inland Seas or M for Manitou, and this year that will be an A for Alliance. So let me know which boat you're on. Thank you for that question. What do you wear? Well, you could wear these cool boots, but then we'd be wearing the same boots.
No, thank you.
You look good. I love these boots. Okay, so if you are representing Inland Seas as a part of a program, we have Inland Seas gear. It's the best option always. Each year, Inland Seas offers a free volunteer t-shirt. I just want to start that by saying, if you are a person who has many volunteer t-shirts, you don't have to take one. I want you to, because Harris and I work really hard to come up with a cool thing, but it's kind of cool. But if you have a number of t-shirts, that you don't have to take one, but we do offer it. So that is something that's going to go out in the April newsletter. I'm going to sign, if you want a t-shirt, you sign up, you tell me what size, I got you. Name tag and hat. If you have not yet received this formal fancy name tag here, we have sticky ones or clip-on ones for you to use during the program. as well as a hat. If it's not an Inland Seas hat, I want you to be able to see. So especially if the sun is out or if it's raining, protect your eyeballs. All caps, sunscreen at any point. If you're working outside, it's just good. It's just good for you. Just wear some sunscreen. Sunglasses are also welcome on board. So please do not wear, and we'll just cover it real quick, anything with political messaging or drug or alcohol references. Pretty standard. Shoes without an ankle strap. So these would be good if you wanted, just saying. But really a flat shoe, and it can be a sandal as long as you trust yourself with the work that you're doing. I trust you to know if you trust yourself to be working in chacos or tivas. But no flip flops, as they are an overboard risk for you and the students. Also logos from other vessels or sailing organizations, not for any other reason that it can be confusing. For if somebody is working with you and they're really excited and they see that you have another vessel on your shirt, they may go and tell everybody about that vessel. And we have a great community. We want everyone to know that tall ships are out there and doing things. But if they go to Manitou, for instance, and they say, oh my gosh, I just heard so much about your plankton sale. Captain Jamie's going to give us a call and say, why are you falsely selling? We do brunch and it's great. You should do that. But they don't do plankton. So limit it to our vessels while you're on our boats, please. Also, check out Manitou for brunch when you're not volunteering on Saturdays. Gear recommendations. It's always good to bring layers, especially when you're on the water. You never know what it's going to do. So rain jacket, waterproof pants, wool socks, keep your tootsies nice and toasty, even if you're in your chacos. Layers. Oh, and bring your water bottle. We want to stay hydrated no matter the temperature. If you have a carabiner, a way that you can put a carabiner on that so you can keep it with you all the time, highly recommend. I have some in my office as well. So if you show up and you're like, Drat, I forgot my carabiner, I can usually grab you one. Does anybody else, I want to crowdsource, have any gear recommendations for our new team members? Yes, Mary Beth.
Heated shoe inserts.
Heated shoe inserts. I love that.
And I got a heated vest too, but that's maybe building there.
And a heated vest. No, it's great. Jill, yes.
Glove and sunglasses.
Oh,
Gloves and sunglasses. Yes, very good.
Do you have something?
no.
Look like you're gonna talk. Yes, Lily.
Oh, I was gonna say, for people who haven't been on boats before, if the land temperature is 70, dress for winter in May.
Okay, so Lily says if the land temperature is 70, dress for colder than that. Winter in May, she says. And it's true. We do tell the students to dress for these temperatures, but one thing that we have seen is that the first summer-like day that happens on land, they're toast for the rest of the year. They are unwilling to put those jackets back on. So the thing about you being warm and comfortable is you are better able to problem solve and provide for a student who is uncomfortable. So that's if you show up and your gear is not quite what you need, we have some stuff on board. It's not a lot. We can't cover everybody. But it's my priority to make sure that you're as comfortable as possible. Stay toasty and hydrated. Okay. My friend would love this. Heck yeah, they would. Let's get them out here. So let's talk a little bit about getting your friends on board for a program. So if you have a friend who's visiting for a week, and that's a visit that they do annually, and you're like, hey, I wonder if they would like to make volunteering a part of their week, a day or two while they're up here. Here's what we need. You need to let me know that they're coming and what they might be interested in shadowing. And I'm going to make sure that there's space on board or in our program or on the dock at ROV for that to happen. I also will submit you, I'm going to send you the application, but really what I need is that background check. If we're going to be working with students, I'll just run that real quick and I'll give you the green light. Hey, thanks so much. You can, looking forward to seeing Joey out on that program. So that's how we can shadow a program. And that's a lot of fun. I highly encourage you guys to encourage your friends. And plus, then you get to show off a little bit and you're like, and here is where we don't walk past because it's dangerous. Up there, we stay back here, you know, all that good stuff. Now, a public sail, maybe you want to come out with your friends and show off what Inland Seas does. If you are interested in coming out on a public sail, you sail free. Let me know you're coming and I will make sure there's space for you on board. We do ask that your guests are able to purchase a ticket if we're coming out on a summer program. We have tests run a couple of different ways in the past, like on a standby kind of seating, and it doesn't always end great. So best case scenario, you come out for free. Please encourage your friends to purchase a ticket. If you want to bring your friends out and they don't want to purchase a ticket, a few times a year we have these volunteer appreciation sales. And that's for you and max 3 friends, okay? And so you tell me, hey, I'm coming and I'm bringing my partner and my son and his wife or whatever. You have 3 extra tickets, and the captains and myself have been working to make these a little more jaunty. We want to make the staff, crew, the whole thing. And if there is a station that you'd like on board, I'd like to see the plankton station. I'd like to show off, I want to teach the plankton station to my friends. Let me know what you want on those sales, and I'll work it in with what I'm planning for the sale, and it'll be a great time. This sale is yours, and I'm excited to have you on board. They are first come, first serve. We do host multiple of them, and with the 2 vessels, I'm certain we can get everybody on board. They happen later in the summer, late August and into September. Yes.
So are you there as, am I there as an instructor or as a guest?
Great question. Debbie says, are you there as an instructor or a guest? You are there as a guest. You are there as a guest, but you are a guest with lots of power. So if you're like, hey, I'm here as a guest and I would like to see the bento station, I'm going to do what I'm going to say, check a Reno, and I'm going to make sure that all of the bentos pieces are available. And I'm going to make that available for everybody. But if you come around and you say, I want to show my friends that I know how to do this, and then you get to lead them through all of the pieces. No obligation to do that. I sort of provide the opportunity. So to flex if you want. Great question. Anything else about our volunteer, any friend stuff? Great. I love this picture. It's a good one. Okay. Now, Inland Seas is an organization we run often, all the time. We run very fast, and a number of you give a significant amount of time. I am so grateful for that. We wouldn't be able, genuinely, like, it's not even blowing smoke, we wouldn't be able to do this without your time, energy, and efforts. And there may come a time when you're like, whoo, I could use a nap or something else. There are a number of reasons that someone might want to step back or away from Inland Seas. Maybe you have a new family member. Perhaps you're taking a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Australia. You may have other hobbies that you're like, geez, I haven't painted in 3 years. We want you to be able to do that. We are supportive of you in any instance. So regardless of how much you are engaging in any of our programs or opportunities like that, the community is always here for you to come back to. You are welcome to come to the cafes. You are welcome. We have the spring potluck where we're celebrating the interns and our spring season. Please come, you will be engaged and welcome to come to those things. And you're also welcome to pick up at any point. Just let me know so I don't bother you if you're away in Australia. That way I can make sure that you are getting the R&R that you need and deserve, and you could come back better than ever. If you are choosing to take a break for an indefinite period of time, or perhaps for good, an exit interview is really helpful. So it is in no way required. You are welcome to walk away and let me know, hey, I'm out of here. I had a great time. Or perhaps you didn't. I hope you had a great time. This is a delicate conversation. It's just, thank you for muscling through it with me. But if it's time to go, you are welcome to do that in any way at any time. If you are interested in sharing feedback for the organization, we would love to hear it. I have a form. I have an exit interview form that you don't have to talk to a single person. You can just hit some buttons and I will get your feedback that way. I also have an in-person way that we can part ways. And yeah, just again to reiterate, any time that you give to us is valuable. If you have been sailing with us for any amount of time and then you say, you know what, I enjoy this a lot, but if I'm going to stay here, I need to slow down a little bit. Absolutely, please. And there's no, you don't have to signal that to me. You are in control of your own schedule using that sign up calendar in the back. I will call if I have an opening. I'd be like, hey, Kathy, do you want to come out on this day? And you are always welcome to say no. But I hope you say yes. Sometimes. I like to talk to you on the phone. Okay. Oh, and this next paragraph, I think is kind of, it's 2 sentences. Inland Seas, the priority of Inland Seas Education Association, our mission is promoting Great Lakes stewardship. That's what we want to do. My priority and my role as the volunteer coordinator is to ensure that you are having a good time doing the Great Lakes stewardship part. So if there's anything that could make your experience better, that's my job. I would love to do my job for you. Thank you. Any questions about this? I believe this rounds out our logistics and what other anything else to the crowd. And if you don't have any now, that's okay. But that is the end of what I have for you today. Yes, Dwayne.
Could you talk more about the CIT piece? How is that process?
Yes. Dwayne says more about the CIT piece. So we do have a crew training welcome coming up next week. I should know that off the top of my head. Next week, I believe. But the CIT crew in training is our introduction to the crew training track. So you, or any volunteer who's interested in that, there are some shoreside trainings, so they're not required to attend. You're going to come on board as a learner, and you're going to work alongside our experienced crew members. And we have a logbook for different skills to be checked off in that. A crew in training is very helpful with vessel management, especially as you start to get your sea legs, literally. If you get a certain number of items in that logbook signed off, we invite you to join our certified crew program. It is not required to be helpful. No CIT is expected to opt into the crew program. But if you opt into the certified crew, capital C, it does open up sailing opportunities. You can work with youth on overnight programs. We have different transiting opportunities for our certified crew members. But anyone who wants to engage in CIT, it is not an expectation or requirement that you are going to become a crew member with a capital C. Thank you. Yes, Dixon.
What volunteer opportunities do you have people who are not going to either be on the ship or teaching class? I mean, are there volunteer opportunities here, we'll say, in the building?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so volunteer opportunities that are not student-facing or program-oriented. That's a phenomenal question. Thank you. Dixon is actually showing up for one of those opportunities today. Dixon is helping with some science equipment inventory and maintenance today. So each year we put our equipment through some serious paces. They need a little bit of a polish and a shine, or perhaps a little bit of weight added to the bottom. So inventory is one way that a non-program volunteer may get involved. We have annual mailings, especially near the holidays. You can come and join us, have some coffee and stuff some envelopes. There are the campus cleanup opportunities. You can help us beautify the space. There is a number of one-off opportunities. Sometimes there is data entry. Sometimes there are grant writing opportunities. Sometimes there are administrating, advising opportunities. If a volunteer expresses that that's something that they're interested in, I have a list of people that I will call when those opportunities arrive, but they're not quite as regular. Does that answer your question? Wonderful. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Just something to share. The question about ROV came up, and I just wanted to make sure that people know here that ROV is in Traverse City, not in Suttons Bay. So I live in Lake Ann, so on a day when I don't run a drive to Schoolship, ROV right there in Traverse City is pretty handy. So just to be aware that there are two different locations.
That's great. Thank you. Yes, there are two locations where we run programs, especially now that we have two vessels.
Right.
So that is with the two boats. If both boats are here, one boat will be in Suttons Bay and the other boat will be down at Discovery Pier. If one of the boats is traveling, the other boat is planned to be up here in Suttons Bay. So the goal is to have a ship, as it's available, there should always be a ship at the center. But if with two boats, And especially during our spring and our fall schoolship time, Alliance will be docked down at Discovery Pier, down there, as well with that ROV program. So those are closer. And that's a great point because I also live in Traverse City.
Yes. Will Alliance, if it's there, be going out doing schoolship program?
Yes, so Alliance is a spring schoolship vessel. Some of you are returning with us, and we chartered Manitou in years prior. And that's not the case this year. We're going to get our sea legs on Alliance as a schoolship vessel. And I am really excited. It will be jumbly at first. Just so if you're feeling like you're ready for a challenge, head on down to Alliance. We're gonna figure some stuff out down there. And was there another half of that?
With this, on the schedule, we'll be able to tell what we're signing up for.
Correct. So if I zip back up at the top,
Oh, yeah.
fall inland seas schedule. And in this year's inland seas is in all caps and Alliance is in all caps. So that's a great point. Check out which program calendar you're signing up for. Anybody in the chat? Excellent.
I'm listening to Traverse City.
Hey, sometimes it's definitely happened where it's like, oops, I'm on the wrong boat. And it actually ended up that the universe put you exactly where I needed you that day. So don't worry, if you show up, I got stuff for you to do. Don't you worry about a thing. Okay, wonderful. So upcoming, we are now getting into our spring training suite. There are a number of new training opportunities. I've got teaching on an inland seas program next week. The week following, I've got shipboard instructor stuff that's specific to being on board a ship. And then our station content. Upcoming and not posted yet are our shakedown sails, or those drill running sails on both of the vessels, and our wet runs. Those dates are coming soon. If you are writing things down now and you want to know, the last week of April are the shakedown sails for inland seas.
Describe that. What's a shakedown sail?
Yes. So a shakedown sail is a drill running safety sail. It is targeted at anybody who is interested in knowing how our crew would respond to a fire or a child falling over or you falling over. What would that look like? So if you are an instructor team member and you would like to see that happen, you are welcome on those sails. We will just not put you in a training situation where you will be grabbing anybody. So that our crew members and our CIT team members, these are training sails for those guys, that everyone is welcome on those sails to see how we would handle an emergency. And we have not yet set firm dates and times, but the last week of April is shakedown sails for inland seas. We can get into dates and times at another time. They will be happening sometime that last week. The wet runs, which are the program practice sails, are happening on May 1st and May 2nd. May 1st, all day, we are practicing the Next Gen program. And May 2nd, we are practicing the Diving Deeper program, which you can learn more about on our website and in future upcoming trainings. But for those instances of practice programs, we will have staff members and willing and experienced instructors leading our learning stations. And then everybody else who comes on board is going to stand in as a student. So if this is your first season, regardless whether you are an instructor or a crew member, I want you to go through that program so you get an idea of what we're talking about out there. What the heck are we doing? What's the story we're telling and how are you playing a part in it? So you will live as a 5th grader for that program, and you feel free to take any dramatic license with that you'd like. You can be hungry the whole time. You can be so curious about the below deck area. Really help us shake the rust off. You know what I mean? So feel free to get into it. And we will be running those practice programs. So May 1st and May 2nd for Schooner Inland Seas. Now we're going to start to wade into some muddy waters. Tentatively, the shakedown sails on Alliance are tentatively scheduled for that first week in May. And tentatively, the wet run practice sails on Schooner Alliance will be happening the 2nd week of May. Now, if you're keeping track, that means we will have schoolship programs running like with kids. On that second week of May on Inland Seas, while we are running the practice sales on Alliance. And one thing that I would like to address with Alliance, and I think in general, Alliance, I'm so excited. And I think that anyone who is watching this and anyone who is here and is also excited about Alliance, I think the best thing about Alliance is that we have a format that works, and we are going to lean into that format and that timetable that works. But you, with the training that you have, whether it's your first or second or fifth or 10th year with us, you are representing Inland Seas in this space as we do it. You know that we're going to put a net over the side and we're going to try to catch some fish. We're going to talk to the kids about that. You know that we're going to be looking into the water to see how clear it is. You know when the sails are going up, and you know that you can always look to the staff lead on your program on Alliance or the captain and go, are we supposed to be right now?
I'll tell you.
The kids don't. What the kids know on Alliance is that they get to be on a 3-masted schooner, and it's going to be probably kind of cold, and they're going to be nervous. And where do I go to the bathroom? And jitters. They're excited to be there. They might be nervous to be there. And I encourage you guys to stand surely in the fact that you get to provide this experience, and whatever you bring to them is phenomenal. They are on a boat, and you're going to keep them on the boat, and that's the goal. We keep them on the boat, and they see everything that happens after that. So Alliance, I have no plans for anything to crumble on Alliance. But we are going to be figuring out, I don't know if the bento station actually fits there very well, and you are going to be important in that feedback. You'll be at the station, you'll be running it, and you're like, just so you know, maybe when we do this next time, let's put it over there so I don't have to sit like this. So we're going to figure those things out. We're going to have and so those wet runs will happen. We're going to block it out as best we can. And the staff members are your allies in making sure we keep the kids on the boat. And then they get to see all of the phenomenal things that Inland Seas wants to show them about the Great Lakes. Yay. Hi. Great. Okay, those dates are forthcoming, dates and times. Any other questions about the upcoming season or anything else? Great. Okay. So at this time, thank you so much for joining us. And we are going to take a quick break. Wait, hold on. How are we doing, chat? How are we doing? Anybody else? Uh-oh. I don't see my chat anymore. I'll look over here. Okay, chat's good. No more questions. In that case, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to set up some tables, and we have 4 knot tying experts today. That the knot tying experts, I've got Captain Ben. Dun, 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 please raise your hand. Captain Ben, Captain Lily. I got Phil Diller. I got Scott Blair. Woo! And I've got tons on the line. And we are going to be learning the following: bowline, classic. Reef knot, close hitch, round turn and 2 half hitches. Say that 5 times. And the rolling hitch. So we are going to be practicing some knots together today. If there is anyone else who is interested in leading a table and feels confident in most of those knots, we can talk. But I'm going to set up some tables. We're going to hang out, get some more coffee going. Thank you so much for being here today, you guys.
Appreciate it.
That was really good.
Glad.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
A great way to orient people.